Hello, annyeonghaseyo.
I'm Marie.
What up, it's Anna, and you've just plugged into Soul Soundcheck. It's soulful, it's a little unhinged, it's K-pop, baby. Let's get into it. This week's episode is our first edition of a segment we call Album the Album. This is where we're going to take two albums and place them head to head, talking about things like composition, music video stats, all the things. Then you guys will get a chance to vote which album won. But there's a little bit of a catch for us too. At the end of the month, there'll be a penalty for the loser. So it gives us a little more motivation to just really go all out. Mm-hmm. So be sure to tune in on all of our socials to vote and then see the penalty later this month. This week, we're starting off with the ones, the onlys.
Ateez, Golden Hour Part 2.
Versus Stray Kids, Hop.
Dun, dun, dun.
I feel like here's what I wanted to preface here just a little bit is we were originally thinking it would be latest Ateez, the latest Stray Kids. This was before the Dominate mixtape came out.
Yes. We did all the prep work before that came out, so we were like, we're not gonna redo that.
And it's technically not a fully fleshed out album. There wasn't a title track. It was just kind of like a remix with some unit songs. So I feel like we're still in good territory here.
I agree.
So the rules / layout of the debate, I guess not really rules, but more of the format. Mm-hmm. So each of us will get a chance to make our initial case. Then we'll have 2 rounds to rebuttal back and forth. And to close out, we'll have a chance to make some closing statements. And with that, let's do some good old-fashioned rock, paper, scissors to see who will go first. Best 2 out of 3 or just once? Just once.
Just once.
Full sentence. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, I go first?
Fine.
I guess so.
So bad.
I guess so.
It's
I guess
fine.
so.
I'm not upset about it. Okay.
All right, Golden Hour v. Hop. Let's begin.
Let's get into it.
시작합시다.
시작합시다.
All right, the Hop album, released on December 13th, 2024, has 12 tracks. Walking on Water was the title track, 2 B-sides and a remix of Walking on Water, plus 8 solo songs from each of the members. Walking on Water on YouTube has 47 million views, and 7 million of those were just in the first 24 hours. It was Skiz's 6th #1 top Billboard 100 album, which ended up breaking a charting record. The first act, not just like the first K-pop act, but the first act to debut at #1 with their first 6 charting albums, the others being Ordinary Maxident, 5 Star Rockstar, and 8. Album sales surpassed Kendrick Lamar's GNX with 100,000 sales, with 187,000 sales before charting. So, and in total, the album has almost 300 million streams. So why do I talk about all these things? So let's take a look at the credits. For every single track except for Lino's solo track, one Stray Kids member is the first listed for the composing credits, which according to how JYP Entertainment does their crediting system, that means for almost every single song, a Skiz member was responsible for the top line. So like one of the most important parts of the song. And additionally, a Skiz member is credited somewhere for lyrics and or composition for each song. So these record-breaking charts and views are really important to mention because Stray Kids are creating Stray Kids music. And it's not just 1 or 2 of them, although Chan and 3RACHA does so much. But like all of them are very hands-on with the process, and they don't really rely on others for the source of their creativity. So I want to just take a quick look at a couple songs, and then I'll turn it over to Marie. So title track obviously is an homage to old school 90s hip-hop. We have a couple sample tracks that might be in the song. I'm not really sure, But a lot of people suggest that they're samples from Jeon Sehoo and Ateez, which a lot of K-pop artists kind of pull from them when they want to do this kind of style. But Stray Kids kind of takes that vibe and puts their own spin on it to make it like a more modern sounding old school hip-hop song, which just makes it so fresh and so new. And Han kind of has talked about it a couple times in their intro video, about like wanting that kind of vibe of just like really leaning into that style. And we've talked about it before, but the hip remix of that song, I'm so glad they included it, because it leans even more on that style. They play with a lot of those same rhythms and syncopations and rap styles, and it's so interesting, but still so Stray Kids. The hip version probably couldn't have made it as the title track, but like such a good B-side. Next is Bounce Back, which, first of all, like, what a diss track. Like, what a diss track. Still pulling from that same hip-hop style, but it's definitely more modern kind of sounding. The major point I wanted to make for this song, and you're going to have to add a graphic here because it's insane. So, during Han's verse, a quintuplet is nothing new in rap, per se. It's definitely hard. It's really, really hard to do. It's just going against all your instincts as a musician. But Han doesn't do it once. He does it twice. In a row.
Slay.
In a row. It's insanity. And I don't want to come down too hard on this song because it is beautiful, but, like, the double quintuplet is just insane. And, like, people can't even pull off a single quintuplet, let alone a double. So, anyway.
T.
Last one I want to talk about is You. This song is a little bit more conventional, but is sweet, but is very, very catchy. To me, it like encapsulates what the song is talking about. I feel like with the other songs on the other group songs, it captures how Stray Kids can do really interesting things instrumentally and musically. But I think You is a really good highlight of how they are as lyricists. It's like just poetry. And then you have the tableau feature, which is like kind of feels like it shouldn't work, but he blends in really well with their voices, and it kind of cuts through the lyricalness of the song to add a little bit of nice contrast. And so even with just these couple songs, you have a good range of like what Stray Kids can do musically, compositionally, like arranging wise, lyric wise. It's just like you can't get any better than this. I won't talk about the solo songs right now, but I think that'll wrap it up for my initial.
Okay.
I turn it over to you.
I applaud.
I feel like I need to take notes because now I'm stressed.
Yeah, I was low-key taking notes.
I was like, okay.
Okay. This
you can't rebuttal. Just talk about it.
Not rebuttaling yet. That will come. But this is just my initial argument for Golden Hour Part 2 from Ateez. Okay. I'm also going to start with some of their accolades, which may be slightly... Wow, I'm a smart girl. I can use big words. Are slightly, I will admit, less than Stray Kids' but I have an argument for that, which I will argue in the rebuttal. Anyway, okay. So, to start with their accolades, with Golden Hour Part 2, they won in Music Bank, which was Ateez's first Music Bank win, which I think is exciting for them. They also won the Grand Honors Choice Award, which is a day song, at the Grand Music Awards. They were also number 1 on the Billboard 200 for like 6 weeks. Or they charted at least for 6 weeks. And then they were the second highest entry on worldwide iTunes and number 4 in the UK and US, becoming the first K-pop group to have 4 albums in the top 10 at a time. So, like, that's kind of slay.
That's kind of slay.
And also, similarly to you, I'm then going to talk about the track list. Because this track list is stacked, okay?
It's pretty
Listen
good.
to me.
Like,
Listen
stepping
to
back
me.
for a second, it's
pretty
good.
good.
Okay, I'm back
If
in
you have
now.
not heard this album yet, what are you doing? Go listen to it right now.
Get out!
Get out of here. Starting with Deep Dive, because I think that's the first one on the album.
Are you gonna deep dive into Deep Dive?
I need you to stop talking. So, Deep Dive is like, it's moody, it's raw, it's deep, it's real and relatable. Especially if you read the lyrics, they're very, like, edgy. But, like, not in a cringy way, in a really, like, impactful way. And it's a freaking banger. Can we talk about it? That song slaps. I Saw My Teeth, the title track. It's so slay. I saw my teeth for days. It's classy. It's giving mafia boss. It's giving pirate lords. Also, can we talk about Songkwa? Giving mother.
Oh my gosh.
And son.
And son, I was gonna say.
Giving everything else. Let's just be real. We know what I'm talking about.
We all know.
We all know. Man on Fire. It's hot. It's sexy. It's bumping.
It's a man on fire.
It is a man on fire. Selfish Waltz. Sultry, but a little more classy. It is nostalgic. It's a little bit retro. It's a vibe. We're vibing. And then Enough, which is like opposite end of the spectrum. It's hopeful. It's positive. It's lighthearted. Mostly in English, I will add. It's like pure ecstasy to me. I love that song. Even the little interlude songs in Ateez's albums go hard.
They're so good.
Love them. The whole album is just very diverse to me, but very cohesive at the same time. Like, you get the full spectrum of, like, all the moods, but it still comes together in a roundabout way, and it, like, flows really well. And I find that that's actually kind of difficult to do as somebody who has produced music before. So, yeah, if you like one song on the album, it's likely that you'll like the rest of it too. So you just made, like, 6 new favorite songs, which is kind of nice.
You made 6 besties!
You made 6 besties all at once!
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I also would like to talk about some of their lyrics, specifically because I think they slap. In Deep Dive, one of the lines says, like, shoddy construction, the lies I've built up, when will they crumble?
Shoddy.
Not that kind of shoddy. Shoddy as in SHODDY. Not shoddy as in, like, hey, shoddy, what's up, shoddy?
Shoddy construction.
Like, shoddy construction. Like, bad construction. Okay, that was a translation. Okay, it's fine. He also says, hiding my anxiety, I hold my breath. Like, both of those lines are from Mingy, and they are direct references, people suspect, to his hiatus and stuff like that. So they're real. They're real, relatable. He's writing his own stuff. We love it. Hong Jung says at one point in Deep Dive, he says, swimming, I reached LA after stopping in Paris. My reality is back in bed. Burying my face, barely catching my breath. I just want to live a real life. Just like relating to their whole crazy lives and crazy schedules. It's just very real and raw, once again. And Enough says, I remember standing by the ocean, which is like the beginning line. Watching all the waves rolling on, I remember shadows growing darker, then the morning broke with a brighter sun. And I just feel like that is beautiful imagery. And I love lyrics that can give imagery. Also, the whole album just has, like, crazy high production quality. I'll just leave that there.
Thank you, Eden and Maddox.
Thank you, Eden and Maddox.
And
Hong Jung.
Sorry,
Don't discredit Hong Jung.
I'm not.
Don't discredit him. Anyway.
I didn't. You didn't give me a chance.
You didn't give me a chance. Also, can we talk about this performance specifically?
Gosh.
That was so aggressive.
Hold on. You can take a back seat.
Mafia boss. Can we talk about it for a second?
The black and white, and then the red wine,
and then
blood,
and then
and it cuts to color? Are you kidding me? And then it's like all over him, like this side of him.
Stop, sir. I'm blushing. Oh my gosh.
Mother. More like, just kidding. I'm not gonna say it.
More like something else. Oh my. And then Wooyoung.
With the water.
With the water on the table.
How does it get there so fast?
Oh.
It was good, though.
I feel like that wins all the points just on its own personal opinion. I think I don't need to make any more arguments. But I will make one more.
But I'm
going to. One more.
Okay.
Just the album packaging in it and of itself, and like the concept photos and everything that was involved in it, stunning. Every single one of them. There's so much in each of those like albums. Like I was looking into it, I was like, holy cow, there's so much in it. One of them even has like their whole storyline in like book form, which is amazing to me. And like name another group that does that. You can't. There isn't one. They're just so storyline focused and lore focused, and I know you're obsessed with that, so you're welcome.
Shut up! This is not me.
Because also, me too. Okay, listen. Anyway, there's my...
Good arguments.
My arguments.
I'll keep my rebuttal short, but on the topic of performance, I just want to mention that this whole album... Almost every song on this album gets a music video, aside from Bounce Back and You. Meanwhile, they're playing sold-out stadiums worldwide. So, like, they're putting in all of this effort, all of this, like, mass production while they're already on tour. You know what I'm saying? And just, like, especially as we are from Seungmin, like... took the charts in Korea. It's a solo song, which Seungmin, I am so proud of him. Every OST he does hits the charts.
Yes.
Like, everyone.
As it should.
As it should. But I'm like, name another K-pop artist that when they do OSTs gets that much love from everyone. Like, not just Days, but like people... Does it though?
Okay.
Jungkook's is good.
Keep talking.
But I just want to say, like, Seungmin does so well. And anyway, I just wanted to say that. I think that's just what I want to say. It's like the sheer quality and production of this album. So not only were they recording, producing, writing these songs, getting them done while on tour. I mean, not the whole process, because, that's
not
just
logical.
Not logical.
Okay.
But... at the very least, shooting music videos in the middle of all of that. Like, their individual music videos, then their group music videos, and all these things. Like, it still slays. And their tour stuff also still slays. And so, like, this is Stray Kids at their busiest. And they're smashing charts. That's all I'll say. Wait, how many views does I Saw My Teeth have? I'm curious.
I don't know. Let me find out.
Oh, plus, Walking on Water choreography is better than I Saw My Teeth choreography. I said
That is a matter of opinion.
It's fact.
That is a matter of opinion.
I Saw My Teeth is okay.
I may slightly agree. I still think that's a matter of opinion.
She's like,
no.
No?
You don't know that.
You don't know that. Even though you're right, but you don't know.
You know that.
Because here's the thing.
What style you like. If you like hip-hop style, then sure. But if you like kind of a more edgy, unique style...
No. Hold on.
She said,
One more thing. I'm
You're
so
done.
sorry. You got me on choreography, and here we are.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna not...
68
I need
million,
you...
by the way.
68 million. Oh, good for Ateez.
So,
anyway. Here's my thing, and I need you to put aside what I said about choreography the other day, aside for this.
Okay.
Walking on Water is the 90s style, right? The choreography fits pretty well. They pull a lot of that, like, a lot of hip-hop choreography, like, very classic hip-hop, and it's done very, very well. I Saw My Teeth is a little... And Ateez is moving in this direction, and I'm so sad about it, of that it's moving. It's just not interesting. It's a little too basic. The moves are a little too easy, which I know they can do better.
Well, okay.
I know they can do more interesting. So that's all I'll say about the choreo. Okay,
That's
I'll
true.
shut up now. I promise.
That is true. Let me add this to my rebuttal. Hold on. Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay, this is my rebuttal. You mentioned all of Stray Kids' accolades.
Yeah, I did.
The accolades. And I mentioned some of Ateez's. I would like to state that Stray Kids has a much larger fandom than Ateez. Not by like a significant, like crazy amount, but it is bigger. And because of that, purely, I would say they have a bit of an advantage in terms of like music show wins and views and whatever. Because they have more people. If they had the same fandom base, like the same size of a fandom, I am willing to bet Ateez would be right up there with them. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about about that part. You also mentioned that they have like the members credited a lot of their own or like credited in a lot of their own songs. So are Ateez, especially Hongjung, specifically Hongjung, because he's like involved in almost all of it. There's like 2 songs maybe that he's not credited in. But Mingi is also credited in Selfish Waltz, I'm pretty sure. So, slay. And they all write their like lyric, or at least Hongjung and Mingi write their own rap lyrics. So,
which I do appreciate.
That is highly appreciated. You also mentioned Bounce Back. Obviously you did.
You mentioned the song that was on the album you were discussing. Wrong.
I would just like to mention that I cannot listen to that song in the car because it gives me anxiety with the sirens.
Oh! But is that new, though? Is that new?
No, but that's Stray Kids' fatal flaw for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting pulled over. At every moment, every time that song comes on, I'm like, am I gonna get pulled over right now?
That's so funny.
It stresses me out.
I love how that's a rebuttal point.
It is. It's a big point for me. Fair. And then you were talking about how they were probably like they were on tour while they were creating this whole album. I would just like to mention that many of these songs, probably most of these songs, were probably recorded months, if not years ago.
Which is why I said not the entire process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of the work has been done far previously. I will say I do agree that probably a lot of their music videos were recorded more recently. But they probably did that before their tour, like in between tours, is my guess. I don't actually know the real timeline on that, but so possibly a moot
hearsay,
point, Anna.
Hearsay. Just kidding.
Hearsay. You also talked about their choreo not being as good.
And what did she say?
I don't want to hear it. You said that their choreo was like going down in like difficulty level.
Yeah.
I think this is intentional on their part because they did Gorilla. And nobody could do Gorilla except for them. Nobody would do the Gorilla challenge except for like their few fans who like are actually trained dancers. And like all of the other idols like would not do the trend with them because it was too difficult.
Except for one group did. Who was it? Was it the boys or something?
Probably. Anyway. It would be. Anyway. But they, like, couldn't post the challenge videos because they couldn't find anybody who was willing to do it with them because it's too difficult. So they were like, okay, we need to dumb this down. So I think it was kind of intentional. I personally don't mind it because it creates more opportunity for fans and other idols to interact with them more and to post their videos and, you know, get more promotion. That is my rebuttal. I'll leave it at that.
There's a way to do simple choreography without it being dumb. And I
don't think it's dumb.
Here's my biggest thing. I think I don't like the I got diamonds on my dentist move at my dentist or whatever.
Really?
It's weird. I don't like it. And it's just I know
it's weird, but I like it.
I know they can do better. I know. And they can still have interesting choreographies without them needing to be gorilla. You know what I'm saying?
I think they do it well. That is a personal opinion.
I'm not saying they dance bad. they do it well.
Are you though?
But
Are
it
you
just...
an Ateez hater?
Oh my gosh. I would just like to also point out, you talked about how Golden Hour showed a range, which is true in a sense, but it's a very limited range. I would argue that Hop shows a much broader range than Golden Hour. And there are more songs and whatever, but it's... This is two insane songs to put right next to each other. But Chan's solo song and Lino's solo song, extremely different ends of the spectrum. And yet both of them are really good songs, and they both work on the album. I was thinking when I was writing this of, like, if I were to show someone, like, Stray Kids songs who had never heard Stray Kids before, I'd be really tempted to pull from the Hop album, because it is, like, Stray Kids in its completeness. Like, it shows their fun side, it shows their sexy side, it shows their, it shows their, like, it showcases a lot of the styles that they are able to do and able to do well. And I think, like you said, like, that's really hard to do on an album. And so even though Ateez may do that a little bit in Golden Hour, I think Hop does that even on a grander scale. And so I think that's really cool. Also, the fan base thing, I would just like to mention, I Saw My Teeth got more views on YouTube than Walking on Water, and yet Walking on Water charted better. Ooh.
I have Ooh.
Also, I'm so sorry. My numbers aren't updated. It is now 55 million on YouTube. That's still, if you know your math, less than 68 million. But I just thought I'd point that out. One last thing about the credits. Ateez, yes, is involved in their producing composition, but it really is only, from what I've seen, like Hongjung and Mingi and maybe a little bit of others. Something I really want to point out, especially on this album, is it's like every Stray Kids member is involved, like, so intensely in everything. And I think part of that is due to Chan does appreciate the input from the other members, and so it encourages them to do that more. And obviously, like, Chan / 3RACHA does, like, I think, pull more weight in terms of the music and composition. But that doesn't go to show, like, the music videos, each of their, like, behind the scenes, each of them talked about how much involved they were in the production process of those, in addition to lyrics, music, and all those things. And so I think, like, yes, Ateez is also involved in their music, but, like, Stray Kids is, like, has their hands dirty in it. Like, they are full in. So I think that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
All right, what's your final rebuttal before closing statements?
Rebuttal part 2. Just like Golden Hour part 2. Anyway.
Okay.
You were like, oh, Hop has so many, like, more diverse songs, whatever. I would just like to say that maybe not everybody likes all of the genres that are involved in Hop. But I feel like with Ateez being all very cohesive, like, Hop to me feels a lot less cohesive, which is good in terms of, like, it showcases each of the individual members and, like, their styles. But if you listen to the album and you like maybe the title track, who is to say you're going to like the rest of it? You might not. Or maybe you really like Railway. Railway? Is that what it's called? Okay. I, like, questioned everything for a second. I was like,
Railway? The way you
Railway?
I thought you were going to say something about, you were like, Railway. It's so good.
That too.
Oh, gosh.
But, like, maybe you really liked Railway, but you didn't really like Unfair.
I knew you were going to say that one. I'm so sorry, Felix.
I'm so sorry, Felix. I love Felix.
I'm just kidding.
I love
We do.
him.
We love Felix.
We love Felix,
like,
so
genuinely.
much, for real. But the album overall is a little less cohesive, and I feel like I said before, if you like one song in Ateez's album, you will most likely like the rest of it. So you just made 4 new besties.
So 6?
I redid the math, okay? I said it wrong earlier. It's 4. Anyway.
I can't.
We also talked about how Ateez has more views on their music video.
Yeah.
Right? I feel that music video views are not a good indicator of fandom size. Because maybe those fans happen to just watch the music video a ton. And, like, Ateez fans are really good at streaming over and over and over and over again. Or maybe the music video looks interesting to people who are outside of the fandom, but still in, like, the K-pop scene, and so they go and watch it, probably because of Sun. Not gonna lie, I would too. I would also do that. Maybe it just caught more people's eye, and so they were like, let me go hop over here and listen to this.
Hop.
Jump hop. Over here.
Hop.
Shut up. And then, listen.
Okay. For what?
Skiz has 31.4 million followers on Instagram. Ateez has 10.5 million. Skiz is triple what Ateez has. That, I feel like, is a much higher indicator of the fandom size than the music video. Because music video views are skewed a lot, and there's also, like, different parts of the algorithm that, you know, vary it. So I would say fandom size is clearly bigger on Stray Kids' end, which makes the music video views all that more impressive for Ateez, in my humble opinion. Also, this, you did not mention this, but I'm going to mention it as another argument.
Is this a rebuttal?
Listen,
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm not gonna say all of the lyrics in Hop are bad, because they're not. A lot of the lyrics are
I know
great.
what you're gonna say. I know what she's gonna say.
But not all of them are really that great either.
I'm walking on water. You can call me Harry Potter. You can't admit that's not catchy, though. It's kind of camp. It's kind of camp.
It's a little silly, I'm not gonna lie.
I got diamonds on my dentist. Is that much better?
I like it. Because it's...
God forbid a woman have a hobby. Just kidding.
Yeah. God forbid Ateez can go get diamonds at their dentist. You don't know.
And God forbid Charming wants to walk on water like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter doesn't walk on water.
Maybe he does.
It doesn't make any sense. No, he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He
and
underwater.
The lyric, I got a shot called Ultra.
Also, my life is so unfair.
You can't talk about that song.
I can, and I will. I love Felix. Love him to pieces. But not maybe those lyrics.
His Japan solo song was so good.
So good.
Literally. Anyway.
And like I said, personal preference. Anyway, I think that's all I had written down for that second rebuttal.
Closing statement.
Yeah, closing statements.
What can I say? What could I say more that would just prove that Hop is better? I will say this. Something I do appreciate about Stray Kids is you don't really know what style that they're going to go for their, like, next title tracks or, like, their next albums. And that's something really fun to watch as a fan, is to, like, each album feels like a surprise. And it's good because they enjoy the things that they do. They enjoy the music that they put out. And I feel like this was really fun, especially because they didn't just have to think about themselves as a group working cohesively, but, like, themselves as members. And so this is just a really fun album, especially for Stays, because it's like we get to see their personalities come out in their solo songs. And I feel like as someone who enjoys a wide variety of music, I find that really fun of, like, oh, I know the next song won't sound like the last song. And they just do it so well. I think of other artists who try to do the same thing, and not Ateez, but other Western artists that I used to like and don't anymore. And they aren't able to pull off such a wide range, especially on a single album. And Hop just hit the charts through the roof through that. And so I think that's my closing statement. I don't know. There you go.
It's like my closing statements. I don't even know what to say. Here are my thoughts. Just
in case you haven't heard them yet.
For the council. I have been struggling lately to find music that really, like, hits for me. Like, I've been listening to a ton of new music lately because a lot of it has been released, and so I've been trying to, like, listen to all of it, and I am, like, not vibing with a whole lot of it. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be really, like, oh, yeah, I like that a lot, and, like, add all these songs to my playlist. But lately, it's been harder for me, and I don't know why, but this album was a whole new level. Like, this was probably the first album in a long time that has, like, hit the whole time. Literally, like, there's not a single track on the album that I was like, I don't like that one as much. No, they're all so good. And that's really rare for me. And so I personally adore this album. And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Hop. Like, I would just like to preface, or not preface, but like state that now. I love Hop.
Golden Hour Part 2? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Selfish Love?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
I love Hop, and I do genuinely love all the members and all their solo tracks. I think they're so fun, and they're so cute, and they're so great. It's just, if I were to rank which one was my favorite in terms of album, I would have to choose this one, because I loved the entire thing, and I just think it's so, just magnifique, to put it simply.
Accolades.
Accolades. Magnifique. Yeah.
Okay, great debate. Fantastic.
Yay!
Well, that is it for today's episode of Soul Soundcheck. If you like what you heard, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials. Link to those will be in the description for this episode. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep it Delulu. Annyeong!
Annyeong!